Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to talk about a recurring problem we seem to come across with people loading tools into the chuck and collet holder on the newer style milling spindles. So here you see one that looks like it's set up in a reasonable fashion, but there's a problem. I'm going to take this apart and show you the components. We have the holder, we have the collet, we have the nut, and we have the bit. Typically what people seem to be doing is putting the bit into the collet outside of the tool because that's easiest. They can be difficult to get in there when they're all assembled. You load that in the holder. Now you put the nut on and you start to tighten down. Everything looks good, but if you notice, there's a ton of thread showing here. And if we look at the top, we'll see that the collet is recessed way in from the end of the nut. That's wrong. Now you can tighten this down with the torque wrench and it'll appear to work right. The problem is that when this is sitting in the tool holder waiting for the pickup position, it's sitting much too high, and that causes problems with your pickup positions. The proper way to do this is to take the nut, take the collet, and insert it into the nut. And you have to push until you feel a slight click. Now that that's clicked in there, we know that this is in the right position to receive the tool. Now's the time to thread it onto the holder. And just run it down a little bit. You see it's much closer to the surface, and now we have to wiggle the tool in there. Once all that is complete, we can push the tool down as far as it'll go, because we want it mounted as low as possible, and tighten it down. Now it's ready to torque down with the torque wrench, and you can see there's a lot less thread showing. This height here from the top of the tool to the base where it sits in the plastic holders is critical. If that's not assembled right, it'll be sitting much too high and your pickup will fail. So just a little helpful tip on how this thing should go together. When it's done, you should see that the collet is close to the surface of the nut, the tool is all the way in, and there's about so much thread showing, maybe less. That's fine. More, not good.